Hey everybody, it's early morning in the green room and I just noticed that Kata's clutch is hatching. So I real quick set up the camera, well I set up lights. I also took a shower, if I'm going to be honest, because my beard made me look like a crazy person. But now that that's done and the camera's set up, I thought I'd bring you with me to see the new clutch. Let me go grab him out of the incubator. We're on day 61 of incubation and I start checking at about day 57. I check every morning, and I haven't opened this yet, but I noticed that there's a little head poking out of an egg. So that means that at least one snake has pipped, and I'm going to cut the rest. You don't have to cut, but I do because just in case a snake is born without an egg tooth and can't get themselves out. So let's take a look at these. Oh, hi there, little one. This looks like a little spot nose. I don't know if you can see it on the B cam, but there's a little bit of blood coming out of the egg where he slit the clutch somewhere else. The eggs are full of veins, and so when I cut, there will be a little bit of blood, but it's not from the snake, it's from the veins on the side of the egg. Okay, I'm going to put these on a different egg tray. Try not to scare that little one. So we just do a little slit so that they don't really have to themselves. This looks like a freeway. It's hard to see everything, but I think that's a freeway. What we're looking for here is, we've got Kata, who is an ivory, that's super yellow belly, and she's also, we believe, GHI. And Ron is asphalt, spot nose, inchy. So the combination of asphalt and yellow belly gives us freeways. That is going to be, I believe, an inchy freeway, at least. Well, that one I can't really see. That one's a freeway. I don't know what that one is. It looks crazy though. Like, I think that's GHI. So this one is definitely not a freeway. But, and I can't tell what it is. We're on the last egg. The one that I've been hesitant to pull out of here because it's right next to this baby. And I don't want to scare the baby. Ooh, oh, I'm good. Look at that. That's a pretty snake. That is a spot nose freeway at least. Okay, that's very exciting. I'm going to wait for them to crawl out of their eggs. That takes 24 to 48 hours, so I'll check on them and I'll bring you with me as they emerge from their eggs and as they shed, and we'll see what we've got. Good morning. It's the next day and we're going to check on these babies. I'm going to pull out the tub. We'll see if anybody's out yet. But I did check on them yesterday afternoon. A friend came over to see them, and I noticed that one of the babies has some problems. We've got a baby with no eyes and some deformities on their face. It looks like they have a cleft lip, maybe shark jaw. And I couldn't tell if there's any problems beyond that with that snake, but that's unfortunate. I did see the faces of 2 or 3 others, and they looked good. So anyway, it's a bummer about that one, but let's look and see if we can see any others. All right. Oh, we got some heads poking out. Okay, so there's one right there with no eyes. I can see 3 with eyes. There's 4 heads poking out. 3 with eyes. This one does not have eyes. Oh, and is that a different one? No, hang on. Where are my glasses? I need my glasses. Okay, that's 1 eye here and no eye here. So this one only has 1 eye. This one is the one that has no eyes and a cleft palate. Jeez, this one has no eyes, or at least on one side of its head. So that's 1, 2, 3 that are problematic. This one does have eyes. This one does not. Jeez. Ugh, you guys, this is so disappointing. I can't tell with this one, and I can't tell with that one. Oh, man. Oh, so disappointing. So, here are my thoughts on this so far. First of all, no eyes is a fairly common anomaly with ball pythons, and usually if that's the only problem, they usually act like normal snakes. This is with just about any snake. They do just fine. So they can eat their food, they can crawl around. I think that snakes don't rely, or at least these kind of snakes don't rely as much on sight as they do on their other senses. So they usually do really well. But I don't know if we have other anomalies in here. I mean, we do have this one that's got a cleft face, and I'm going to have to wait till they crawl out of their egg to see if there are any other problems beyond that. But as far as just no eyes, as long as they're eating, they should be fine. As long as they eat and pass food, they should be fine. And what I'll do is get them started. Hopefully, you know, there are some with just the no eye issue, and I'll get them started. And I'm sure that I have some Patreon supporters who are really great snake keepers that would be willing to take them. I will just give them to whoever wants them. This is a lot of times an incubation issue. If there's heat spikes in the incubator, that's a lot of times the issue. But I just checked, and there haven't been heat spikes. My incubator has gone from about 86 to 87.8 or something like that, and no major heat spikes. So I don't have a good explanation right now for what happened here. The parents are both unrelated, so that it's not like there's been tons of inbreeding over and over. Good morning. It's the next day, and you know, yesterday I was a little bit nervous because nobody had crawled out of their eggs yet, and sometimes it takes a couple days for snakes to crawl out of their egg, but usually you've got one or two out the first day. And just because of all the other problems that we saw yesterday, I was a little nervous. I have not seen them yet since then, so let's take a look. Okay. All right, we got a couple out. From what I can see. Oh, we got several out. Good. Okay, so here's what we got. Put glasses on so I can see what I'm doing here. Reading glasses are very helpful for seeing snakes close up. So this snake has both eyes. They look like the right size, and it doesn't look like there's kinking from what I can tell with this snake. So I think we have a good freeway right here. That's great. That's one good one. Makes me happy. This one, also two good eyes. Great. So that's two good ones. I don't see tail kinking. It looks like Orange Dream, but we don't have Orange Dream in the mix. So I don't know what we got here. Spot nose, for sure. Spot nose. Okay. Here we go. Oh, little one. I know. Alright, so this one has one eye. Otherwise, I don't see any kinking. These two are mostly out, but they're not all the way out, so I'm going to leave them for now. Both of them are no eyes, and both of them look like they have cleft faces, which is really unfortunate. I don't know why we have the coloration that we have on these, as far as just the morph situation. That's really interesting to me. Aside from the anomalies, the physical anomalies, we've got weird coloration, which makes me wonder if Kata has something else going on. So here's the thing, you know, I cut these eggs because in the event that a snake is born without an egg tooth, they'll just die in the egg. And sometimes snakes are born totally healthy, they're just fine, just born without an egg tooth. And in a case like this, I don't know that these guys have an egg tooth. I can't really see it. But in this case, in the wild, snakes with anomalies like this probably wouldn't hatch. They would just die in the egg because they may not have egg tooths. They may not have the drive to hatch, you know? So by cutting them, we let them hatch. And for a snake that is going to do fine and going to eat and do well as a pet, that's great to do everything we can to save their life. But for snakes like this one, I just saw him open his mouth. He's got, and I can tell he has shark jaw. So, aside from the cleft on his face, that one has shark jaw. And it looks like the other one maybe doesn't. This one looks like probably doesn't. I don't want to mess with them right now. I don't even want to. I'm going to put these guys back in the incubator and we will check again in the morning. Morning, everybody. The snakes that we pulled out of the tub yesterday and put into the rack are doing well. They're just sitting there piled up waiting to shed. Let's check on the others. Okay, looks like we have at least a couple out. Oh. Alright, so... Jeez. Alright, so we've got one that's just not formed right in the egg. So that one's not even a snake, really. We've got one with a really fat belly. I may not show you the B-roll because it looks kind of gross. So I'm just going to turn this camera off. Okay, so this one, I don't know if this one will be able to eat, but we're gonna give it a try. Any of these that can live a relatively normal life, we're gonna give it a try. Okay, this one's normal. This is a regular one. And again, I don't know what it is. It's a freeway. I mean, all of these are yellow belly, by the way. These all have yellow belly, whether they're a freeway or not. This one is a freeway with some crazy stuff going on. I didn't put my glasses on, and now... Oh, he's not normal. He's got shark jaw. Ugh. He's got shark jaw. So frustrating. I think we only have two normal ones in the bunch. Oh, this one might be, actually. Okay, this one does not have shark jaw and has both its eyes. Oh my gosh. That's this one here. My lighting is not good today. Sorry, you guys. I don't know if you can see him very well. Okay, that might be a relatively normal one with crazy patterning. I have no idea what Kata is at this point. I'm going to try to get a hold of the breeder, I think. I don't see any kinking in any of these snakes. Here's another one with no eyes. Oh, big, sort of an open belly. That doesn't look good. That snake's not going to live. Okay, so all the snakes are out of the eggs at this point. We ended up with 3 out of the 7 that are normal. They look normal as far as healthy, and they have their eyes and they have normal faces. As far as I can tell right now, just a quick look at them. And then 1 that didn't make it, and 3 that have anomalies. So those 3 that have anomalies, I'm going to do the best I can to get them to eat, see if it works. You know, some snakes with shark jaw do okay, some don't. I have 2 of them with shark jaw. And one of them also has another anomaly on his face. So I think that one is the most problematic. So this is kind of a disaster of a clutch. It's really unfortunate, but I'm going to give them a week to shed out. Once they're shed, I will try to offer them a meal, and we'll get that process started. We'll see how that goes. So I'll check back in with you guys. I just got done doing my 2-month later update. You'll see that at the end of this video. But let's cut in really quick to scroll the Patreon supporters. If it weren't for these guys, this channel would not be a thing. So I really appreciate everybody here. You know, we are figuring out some get-togethers right now to do with the Horde of Keepers, which is really cool. One of them is happening, well, it happened yesterday. If you're watching this on the day it came out. We just did a Zoom party. Sometimes we do that where we all get together on Zoom and everyone can see each other and chat with each other, and that's really fun. The community over on Patreon is pretty amazing, the Horde of Keepers over there. But we're also planning some really cool get-togethers in different places that I'm going to be, like potentially Tenley in October. We're doing a get-together in Seattle in August. We are planning a Southern California herping adventure for the Patreon supporters that are in Southern California. And we're trying to plan a out-of-the-country trip for anybody who wants to do some big adventure like that. So there's some cool in-person get-together stuff that we're doing on Patreon right now, and I really appreciate those people. Also, I appreciate the channel sponsors. Now check this out. Right now, the channel sponsors are Black Box Cages, that's still your discount code, and Lane Labs, that's still your discount code. Gray Family Snakes did a 1-year sponsorship, and their year is over. But we have another ball python breeder to replace Gray Family Snakes. I love Gray Family Snakes, by the way. Roger and his family are amazing. But I'm not telling you who the new supporter is. What's up, Spencer? I'll tell you maybe on next week's live stream. Or maybe it'll be the video after that. I don't know. We'll see. I think I mentioned it on last live stream, actually. Anyway, thanks to the Horde of Keepers over on Patreon, and thanks so much to the channel sponsors. Let's get back to this video. I'm going to try to feed these snakes, and I'm not going to put the camera on it because I don't want the infrared messing with them while they're trying to eat. I'm going to dim the lights, and whatever snakes take, I will film that once they've taken it and tell you what's going on. But I just don't want to have a camera on them the whole time. I want to give them the best chance of eating possible. So here we go. Let's see what happens. Here's our little one-eyed snake. We'll see if he eats it, but he took it right away. That's great. Well, here's the quick update. Nobody else took, and the one that did take didn't eat it. He dropped it, and then he wouldn't take it again. So that is the first offering for this clutch. The two snakes that are normal seemed scared of the food, and the two with shark mouth seemed mildly interested, but didn't strike. So that's why it goes sometimes on the first feeding. Cut to 2 months later. Since the last time you saw me, which was just a few seconds ago, I have been to the Amazon jungle, and I've come back. I've worked with these snakes, and here's where we're at. The two that were the worst, that had cleft faces, plus shark mouth, plus no eyes, neither of them made it. So what we're left with is two that came out fine. I've got one with one eye, or he's got a very tiny eye, but it's basically one eye. And I have two with shark mouth. I talked to some breeders who have dealt with shark mouth before, and some tell me that the snakes can do fine, and others tell me that they won't do fine. So I think everybody's just had different experiences. And the way feedings have gone for these particular snakes is the one with one eye is my best eater. He's going to be fine. He eats frozen thawed since the beginning. The first time trying to feed him, he didn't eat. And then he's pretty much taken every other meal, I think. My two normal babies, or ones without anomalies, just the other day took their first frozen thawed meal. They needed to be fed live a few times. And so now they're on frozen thawed, and that's great. I have two shark mouth babies left, and one of them has taken 2 assist fed meals. I'm not force feeding, I'm assist feeding. So I'm putting the rodent into the back of their mouth and letting them do the rest. The other one has not successfully had an assist feed. So still at 2 months in, still has not eaten. And that one might not make it. I mean, both of those snakes might not make it still, but I'm doing what I can. I don't want to force feed a snake that's not going to make it. So I'm choosing to try to assist feed, and we'll just see how it goes. Also, I did try to contact the breeder to find out if, number one, Kata has some sort of problem, and if there's a possibility that Kata has some other genetics, because there's definitely Orange Dream in these babies. So I would say that Kata is Orange Dream, but she's not supposed to be. I also thought I was seeing GHI, but then I looked up GHI freeways on Morph Market, and I don't think there's GHI in this. So anyway, I contacted the breeder. I tried to text him, never got text back, never got return phone calls. Finally returned an email, but didn't respond to any of my questions. So that's unfortunate, but not every breeder is gonna be responsive or professional or whatever. So that's okay. It's fine. We'll figure out what Kata is next time I breed her, and hopefully we don't have similar anomalies. Again, there's a good chance that this was an incubator issue, even though when I check the incubator temperature history, I don't see any spikes. There could have been a spike within the tub. The eggs generate their own heat, so maybe somehow there was a spike in the tub or something like that and caused these problems. But this is part of breeding animals. It doesn't always go right, and it's not always the happy, joyous situation that you'd like it to be. I wanted this video initially to just be documenting the process of bringing up some babies, and it turned into this. So I actually hesitated in putting this video out, and decided that it was probably important to show even though it's kind of a bummer video. It's important to show what happens. You know, I don't have a ton of experience breeding. I haven't had a ton of clutches, but already I've got this clutch with some problems. So I think the takeaways here are that breeding is tricky, and you don't always know when you're going to have a problem or why you had the problem, for one thing. But also that snakes are resilient, and there are some anomalies. The spider morph that causes the equilibrium problem. Those snakes usually do fine. Sometimes their wobble is pretty bad and they don't do as well, but most of the time they do fine. Snakes with eye problems usually do just fine. They act like a normal snake. Obviously, there are other anomalies that could be a problem, but if you have a snake with a kink in its tail, they usually do just fine. So those are great pets. You know, those are not snakes that you want to breed, but they make great pets oftentimes. So I'm going to see what I can do with these two shark mouth babies, and as long as I can get them going, I will give them to Patreon supporters. The one with one eye will go to a Patreon supporter, and then I might be keeping one of the two normal ones, or I might those might go to Patreon also. So we'll see. At least one of them will, maybe both. All right, I feel like I'm rambling here. This was a non-planned. Every clip that you saw in this video was unplanned, and I hope this video isn't too rambly, but I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next week. For a live stream, by the way. We'll be live next week.